Alright guys, so I want to give you guys a really quick overview of the Axion Plains. This map does have a few things on it that we have never seen before, and I want to help you not be confused when you're staring at this map. Alright guys, so the first box I want to talk about is actually this Dimensional Breach. Now this was not functioning during the demo, but I do think this is going to be what is going to track the rewards we get for killing the Wall Crasher in a given week. This also tells you when the Wall Crasher will be spawning on the map. Don't worry, you actually get an on-screen prompt as well, that way you do not miss it. Now the reason I think the box is a quick tracking for the rewards is because of this menu here. We have an entire menu showing what rewards we will actually get once we kill the Wall Crasher enough times. Now I do think a lot of the values and numbers in here are placeholder values for now, at least when it comes to what it takes to rank up. But it does look like we're going to be able to get Void Axiom reward gain plus 30%, research time minus 15%, and unique RK factor XP plus 15%. In order to get to the Wall Crasher, you need to go to the center dome. Now, I'm actually here right now and the Wall Crasher shows that it is available. However, the fights have already started. So because of that, the door itself is actually closed. But that does not mean you cannot enter a fight. Now, I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to get into a fight myself. But if you approach the door and get close to the door, it will go ahead and throw you in matchmaking. So it's not like you have to be here before the fight starts. You just want to make sure that you are either here before the fight starts or while the fight is ongoing to have a shot at taking out the Wall Crasher. The other box shows a dimensional energy stabilization, and this seems to be a daily reward. What this says is we need to clear the operational area, and after doing it numerous times, we will fill the box up to 100%. Now this is going to net us some rewards, including mats for the area and 1 trigger mod per day. Now while this box again was not working during the demo, I can tell you that this is how I assume we will fill it. You can see the Dimensional Energy Stabilization box has what appears to be teeth with fangs. So if you hover over a mission marked with that same symbol, it does say operational area. It tells you the time that it's remaining to be the operational area and tells you that you will get additional rewards for completing missions that are in the operational area. So I would prioritize doing these missions until you fill that box up for the day. Now, outside of those boxes, I do want to point out a couple other things. There will be roaming Colossus on the map, and while they're not on the map all the time, there are going to be times where they are on the map. If you hover over it, it will tell you which Colossus it will be, that way you know the fight you're getting ready to show up to. They are very clearly marked, and you can go ahead and hit X to set a waypoint to them. Speaking of other symbols on the map, one of the other symbols you need to be aware of is going to be the little symbol that shows up beside a mission marker. That symbol is going to tell you which of the 3 new elite monsters will spawn during that mission. One of them can be the Breach Discharger, one of them can be the Razor Claw, and the other one can be the Steel Pincer. Now while this isn't too impactful for the mission, you can kind of plan around it, that way you know what you're going up against when it comes to these fights. And you can plan around which one you don't like to fight if you have one that you just really don't enjoy fighting. So when it comes to the main mission rewards, most of these missions will offer you a chance at either a blueprint loot or a trigger mod loot. Make sure before you come to the Axion Plains that you go ahead and target farm both of these items. Now when it comes to the blueprint loot box, there are actually a ton of items in this one box. So your odds of getting exactly what you want are pretty freaking low. And you cannot actually pick what you get when you click on the box. You just click on the box and get one of the random items in there. So know that you will be farming these boxes quite a bit, so ensuring that you have them target farmed will help you out. And the same with the trigger mods. Clicking on the box will give you one of the random trigger mods. On the topic of the blueprint loot, I do want to point an additional thing out. We mentioned earlier that operational missions have a chance to drop additional loot, and that loot is hyper specialized loot boxes. So as you can see here, we actually have 2 RK loot, and this is going to give us chances at Nell's parts, and we have 2 eraser loot boxes as well. And this isn't just for those 2 items. Even items like the Orca do have a better chance of dropping specialized boxes from running the operations missions. So if you're wanting something specific like the Eraser, the Vortex, Orca, or Nell, make sure you also set them as a targeted reward and prioritize farming the operational missions. Either way, this is going to ensure that we have a ton of things to grind for on the Axiom Plains. So outside of that, there are some mobile energy monitoring points. These are effectively sparrow races. When you approach them, there will be like a blue screen in the air. Once you ride through that, it will start the race. Speed through this race and try to beat the times that it shows on the screen. Each one of these does have the opportunity to give you a crystal catalyzation if you can beat the fastest time. And the last thing I want to talk about is going to be the Axiom drop zone. Now these do appear randomly on the map. The biggest thing to keep in mind here is once this appears on the map, the counter does start. And in order to get the best rewards, you want to clear it in gold time. This will reward you with various mats from the area, so you want to go ahead and pick these up whenever you can. Now speaking of materials, there are going to be 4 materials that you're going to be hunting down quite a bit. One of the easiest ways I've found to do these is actually just to farm any of the missions. Most of these missions will take you about the same amount of time to clear depending on the Descendant you're using, so honestly, pick the mission that you're the most happy running frequently, or just rotate through the missions to pick up these materials. The materials I'm talking about are going to be Entropium, Paracid, Celentra, and Breachstone Shards. You will need quite a few of these to make refined Axiom crystals, and you will need refined Axiom crystals in order to put trigger mods on your Descendants. Now before I end this video, I do want to look over some of the bikes and explain to you how they actually work. In the demo, we had access to all 3 bikes. The starter bike, which was the Glide 4, we had access to the Orca, and we had access to the Vortex. Now between the Vortex and the Orca, the Vortex is faster, but the Orca is more maneuverable. So at the end of the day, you just want to pick the one you're the most comfortable with. Now, when you have a vehicle equipped, you can click on this Enhance Modify Performance, and this will bring you to an enhancement menu. Now, unfortunately, unlike rolling weapons, you cannot lock in stats that you want. When you click the modify button, it will just re-roll your stats. Now when it comes to these stats, it seems that they are very static and they do not actually have a range on them. So my suggestion to you is pick a couple stats that you personally prioritize, whether that is mobility, acceleration, speed, or anything else. After that, just continue to remodify your bike until you get the stats you want. And as you can see here, you can actually get multiples of the same stat. So on this particular modification, I was able to get 3 times max speed. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to lock in the rolls we want and continue to roll to try to really customize our bike. But for now it is completely random. So just keep re-rolling the slot machine until you find something that you're happy with. Alright guys, and that's it. This is a very quick overview of the Axion Plains. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this quick breakdown and feel prepared to get out there and start enjoying the content. I do think the Axiom Plains is probably the most dynamic zone we've had in the game, so I do think this is really a step in the right direction. The First Descendant team has been doing a lot here to really make the new player experience a good time, and I think that this map is another one of those examples. I like that they added difficulty to the zone, not by making things harder, but making you have to manage more enemies, and I love the mob density here. I also like what they did with the Wall Crasher, while not making him overly mechanically heavy, but making him require a team that can put out some serious damage. My only real complaint with the Axiom Plains is I wish there was something here that was more of an in-game activity, as I don't really see farming the Axiom Plains as being the end game. But if all the content and zones they continue to develop moving forward is as complicated and deep as this, I am excited for the future of the First Descendant. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you excited to get in and play the Axiom Plains, or have you already jumped in and ran it? If you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing for more First Descendant content as well as other game coverage in the future. And if you want to get to know me in the community, consider coming over and watching us live on Twitch. We do stream 5 days a week and we would absolutely love to have you over there. But having said all that guys, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.